Hello everybody, it's John Johnston, Corn Nation, with your Week 5 college football review. It was chaos again this weekend. Chaos. Many dreams were smashed, starting with Oregon, who lost to Stanford 31-24 in overtime and saw the hopes of a college football playoff bid go down the drain for the entire Pac-12. Is that too bad? I don't know. Does anybody watch Pac-12 football? I mean, I would if it was more available. And I kind of like, Pac-12 after dark. That's kind of fun. I'm going to watch UCLA, USC, and Oregon probably. Everybody else kind of doesn't even exist for me. Goodbye, Pac-12. Alabama over Ole Miss. Alabama just smashed Ole Miss again. It's another weekend for Alabama. This game was played up to be, could be interesting, but no, it wasn't. It's just another game. Georgia smashed Arkansas 37-0. I did watch part of that game, and Georgia's defensive line is probably going to they could just take that and move it into the NFL, and there you go. And Arkansas had a hell of a time with them, mostly because of their defense. Their defensive line just destroys everything in its path. And, Arkansas's coach smashed his headset, and I only saw him smash one, and it made me wonder, who provides people with headsets? I mean, does the school give them? Do you have to bring your own? Does the homeschool give you like a quota of 5? If you smash 5, you don't get any more? You probably never think about this. I do, because I just think, who gives these out? Maybe I'll find that out. One of the funniest games of the weekend. Mississippi State beats Texas A&M 26-22. The Aggies gave up 408 yards of passing and lost, which makes them 0-2 in the SEC, with Alabama up next. There's probably a lot of sad Aggies out there, and they'd be sadder if they just keep thinking about the fact that they owe Jimbo Fisher $94 million guaranteed. Who signs that kind of contract? I thought Jimbo Fisher was a decent coach at Florida State, but not that much. And he just got an extension. That's just silliness. That just screws up everybody else in college football and their money. I have nothing against the Aggies, but, just for that, I kind of hope you lose. Wake Forest over Louisville, 37-34. Wake Forest is the cream of the SEC. Florida State actually won a game over Syracuse this weekend. But Wake Forest, could Wake Forest make the college football playoff? I mean, hell, why not? They don't have the name. I'm sure the people that pick this stuff, the College Football Playoff Committee, would look at them and go, who the hell are these people? I don't even know what Wake Forest is. Cincinnati, speaking of a team bound for the college football playoff, beat Notre Dame 24-13, and they proved they belong. And we'll get to the college football playoff a little bit more at the end of this. Now we're going to move to the Big Ten. Michigan smashed Wisconsin 38-17. And here's the thing with Wisconsin. I've told you this before. They don't have an offense. Graham Mertz is a turnover machine. He can play really well for a moment, and then he suddenly goes bipolar and throws the ball all over the place and costs them games. They don't have an offensive line like they've had in the past. They don't have a running back like they've had in the past, where they just blow open the field and run down the field and score on 79-yard runs. So Wisconsin is in a world of hurt because they can't score and they give the other team points. That's bad. Trust me, that's bad. They are 1-3 for the first time since 1990. And that's when Barry Alvarez came. And Barry Alvarez is going away, or he's gone. Maybe that's an omen for the future of Wisconsin football. If Barry Alvarez isn't around, you're just kind of screwed. Ohio State was angry and crushed Rutgers 52-13. I figured that Rutgers might score more than that, but I think they were just, shell-shocked by Ohio State just beating the living snot out of them. Penn State destroyed Indiana 24-0. Indiana is, back to their old form of suck, and that's too bad. Boo-hoo. Basketball season's coming soon. Oh, you're not really that good at that anymore, are you? Too bad. Friday night, Iowa just demolished Maryland, 51-14. Maryland quarterbacks threw 6 interceptions. And what's the guy's name? Tua? I'm terrible with names. I'm not going to look that up either. Tua's brother threw 5 interceptions. The backup quarterback threw 1. Listen, Iowa is one of the top teams in the nation right now. I think Tyler Goodson, I've said this before, he's a really exceptional back. But other than that, Iowa, I don't know if Iowa's really this good or if they're just feasting on really bad decisions across the board. If there's some kind of like satanic thing going on here, or maybe it's like, the thing where Kirk Ferentz gets 1 in a 10-year deal where he's good. And we're going to find out more as the season goes on. What I want to see from Iowa is actually have a whole game where they get 1 turnover. And they have to drive the length of the field to actually score, to win the game. And I don't honestly think they can do that against a decent team. So, but we're going to find out. Key with Iowa is they play Penn State next week. And then their schedule is... who gives Iowa? They don't ever play Ohio State. We play Ohio State every year. Their schedule is fluffed the rest of the year. Unless Nebraska can show improvement like it did against Northwestern, beating the living crap out of them. Maybe if that Nebraska shows up against Iowa, then we might have an interesting contest. But otherwise, Iowa's got like this straight line to the Big Ten championship. And that's going to be interesting in itself. Because I tweeted this out this Saturday, and right now my college football playoff is Alabama, Georgia, Iowa, and Cincinnati. Now, you're probably looking at that and thinking, Iowa is never going to beat Ohio State. Iowa is not going to make the college football playoff. But you know what? Why not? They got a defense that picks the ball off, and Ohio State hasn't exactly been Ohio State lately or this season. And then you look at Cincinnati, and should Cincinnati get to the college football playoff? I think so, but they won't. And the reason why they won't is because the mostly old white men that make up the college football playoff committee are not going to pick a group of 5 team unless they're, like, I don't know, held hostage by somebody and forced to. I just don't see them giving money to the group of 5 conferences at all. They're always going to come up with excuses like, it didn't pass the eye test, or I don't like Bearcats, they're dangerous, or we don't want to have to play in Cincinnati in the cold, even though, they play these frickin' games in the bowls. My college football playoff expansion shit. If you don't think Iowa and Cincinnati belong in the playoffs, I'd like to see in your comments who you think the 4 teams in the playoffs are going to be. Because, we're getting along in this season. College football, we wait forever, and it goes really fast when it finally gets here. And it's sad. But, just live for today. Live for now, and you'll be fine. Don't think about the fact that Iowa plays Penn State next weekend and might get knocked off. That's it for this college football weekend review. I hope you're doing well. Go Big Red, and take care of yourselves.